So my name is Joanna Parzaconis. I'm the owner of the store. I like to call myself its caretaker more than its owner. Ownership is something that I think our society tends to maybe place too much of a value on. And the success of this store and this business is very much due to the fact that so many people feel ownership in this place and in this concept and in the idea of gathering around books and being around books and celebrating books and being together with books creators. So when you ask, am I affecting community? Again, I step back and say, I am the caretaker of this place. The community is actually affecting us profoundly and has found a home here and is affecting change through this place, which is an incredibly inspiring thing to watch as a caretaker of this place, to watch how the community has impacted us and has molded and shaped our inventory and molded and shaped those visitors that we welcome by either sometimes literally asking, can you carry this series? Or saying, can you bring in this author? And it being then our job to say, we need more books that focus on children of color, that are the story of young urban youth, because there isn't enough of that. And that is something that has been acknowledged in the last 3 years. There isn't enough being reflected in kids' literature in a diverse enough way to say that every single child can find her or himself in a book. There's not enough question of gender roles and or gender identity or sexual preference in so many levels of literature, but especially perhaps in very young literature. So doors opening in other ways in regards to those things have widened publishers' assumption about what kids want to read, what parents want their kids to read, in terms of offering mirrors to their worlds, but also windows to other people's worlds and or cultures or belief systems, that is critical, I think, in terms of making sure we're all thoughtful citizens of the world. There's never a day that we don't see somebody new coming through our doors, which is partly the result of our size and our marketing budget. There are still many people in Kalamazoo who have no idea that we're here, which is a sad thing to me from some perspective, but it's such a wonderful thing to hear somebody walk through the door and gasp and say, I didn't know you were here. So we welcome that, and we're excited at the prospect of so many more families and people to get to know in this city and in this town. You know, maybe one of the hardest things for me to learn how to do was how to bring in inventory that I personally may not have been as geeked about as the 8-year-old kid who actually is totally geeked about. So balancing my desire and insistence for high quality, great books to be shared with this community with what that definition of high quality good book is, because quality can be determined by the right book at the right time for the right child, for the right adult, for the right anyone, in terms of convincing that person that books have something to offer them, because there are too many people still, and children especially, who assume books are not for me, and anybody who does is somebody who hasn't yet been given or an opportunity to have the right book at the right time, which I think is an injustice, a fundamental injustice to anyone, but especially to a child. And I think the schools do what they can, but the system of education is such that a joy around books isn't necessarily something that's often nurtured in the public school system. It's more a job around books. So finding the joy and asking more than telling children is something that I hope to do, both as a store and as a parent and as an advocate for children, as a service provider, not only to the customers who come through our store, who tend to be highly educated and invested in conversation around books, but in serving a community in a broader way through organizations that are committed to distributing books in a broader way in our community, which has been great. I mean, that's part of what I was talking about, not being able to fulfill larger orders to a broader community. needing to, both to sustain the business in a way, but also to truly serve the community of Kalamazoo. You can't just serve those who are coming through your door and have the ability to pay for books, because there's a large portion of our community that is A, not able to get to this location, and B, not able to spend perhaps any money on any book right now in their life. So being a part of the hands that are getting books into the hands of those families is an unexpected joy, something that I didn't anticipate fully in opening a bookstore, and it's a huge pride that I take. My name is Joanna. I've been the co-owner for the last 8 years of Bookbug here in Kalamazoo.